Hello, students. I hope you're ready for another fun story to listen to, a read aloud story. This time I'm going to read a story to you called Jennifer and Grandad's Garden. I'm going to read this story, and it's about a young girl who learns from her grandfather how to plant a seedling, a small seed that's going to grow into something. Now, I want you to think to yourself about times in which you were planting flowers or vegetables or working with your parents in their garden. What kinds of things do plants need in order to be healthy? Do they need sunlight, water, minerals, kind of like vitamins that you might take in order to be healthy? A plant needs that too. But just like you need water also. And believe it or not, you need a little bit of sun as well. Well, here we go. Jennifer and Grandad's Garden by Fran Hodgkins.
"Where's Grandad going with those little plants?"
Jennifer asked her mother. "Those are tomato plants. He's going to plant them in the garden," Mom said. Jennifer watched her grandfather walk from the garden shed around the back of the house.
Plants,
Jennifer said with a giggle.
"That sounds like fun."
"Why don't you see if he needs a hand, honey?" Grandma said. Leaving Mom and Grandma sitting on the porch, Jennifer followed her grandfather into the backyard.
"Can I help?"
she asked. Grandad smiled and nodded. "Let me show you how, and then you can plant some too." Grandad put the tray of a dozen tomato plants on the ground. "These are seedlings," he told Jennifer. "They're baby plants. When they get all grown up, they'll be almost as tall as you, Jennifer." Jennifer looked at the 6-inch tall plants and whistled with surprise.
"They've got a lot of growing to do, don't they?"
Grandad nodded. "That's why I need to get them into the ground so they can start growing." They knelt down on the rich, dark, green garden soil. Grandad picked up a little shovel. "This is a garden trowel," he told Jennifer. "It's like a baby shovel."
"You use a baby shovel to plant baby plants?"
They laughed at Jennifer's joke. First, Grandad dug a hole with the garden trowel. "Make sure it's not too deep," he said, "and not too shallow." He put the dirt he dug out on the ground next to the hole. Then he placed the tomato plant in the hole. He made sure it stood straight and tall. Next, he scooped soil back into the hole and pressed it down around the seedling. Last, he gave the little plant a drink of water from the watering can. Now I'm going to stop here for just a minute. Now let's think about the steps that Grandad took to plant these plants, these seedlings. What is the first step you should follow when planting a seedling? What is the correct way to dig a hole for a seedling? And what should you do after you dig a hole? These are the proper steps in planting a plant. Let's continue with our story. Think you could do that? Grandad asked. Jennifer nodded. Grandad gave her the trowel. Jennifer dug a hole just like the one Grandad had dug. Not too shallow and not too deep. Grandad handed her a tomato plant. Jennifer carefully put it in the hole, straight and tall. She scooped dirt back into the hole and pressed it down. Ooh, now we're finding the steps. First you have to dig a hole if you're going to plant something. That makes sense. Then she gave her plant a drink, too. They worked side by side planting the tomato seedlings. When they finished, 2 long rows of tomato plants stood straight and tall in the garden. "Good job," Grandad said. "You're a natural gardener." Jennifer smiled and dusted the garden soil off her hands.
So, Grandad, do you have any other baby plants to put in the garden?
He grinned at her. "Well, as a matter of fact, I have some cucumber plants that need to get growing. Want to help?"
You bet!
Jennifer picked up the garden trowel and followed Grandad to get the next batch of new garden plants. And this was the story, Jennifer and Grandad's Garden. I hope you enjoyed it.